another Saturday slate, college football edition, FanNoise style. Nate Schweers, how are we feeling after Thanksgiving? How are we feeling after Sunday night football, after a little turkey, after a little stuffing? How are we doing?
We're feeling good. We're feeling great. The Hawkeyes, big victory. I called it when I was taking the recycling out on Friday morning. I called that shit. Closer game than I imagined. They did not dominate, but they won 26-20. You have to love it. Moving on. You know what I'd like to start the show with tonight, Mike, is a little bit of Heisman talk. I've been on the Mac Jones train. I'm becoming a little bit less excited about the Mac Jones train. I am all about the Kyle Trask train at this point. Absolutely. I've got Trask for Heisman, Trask for the Bears. Those are my two hashtags moving forward. Trask to the Bears.
Trask to the Bears. Has a nice ring to it. Me too. I have Kyle Trask. Justin Fields kind of just got ruled out after they didn't play last week. He's kind of out. Trevor Lawrence out, didn't play the whole season. At that point, you're sitting at Trask, you're sitting at Mac Jones. Maybe you slip in a Najee Harris. I don't see it, but yeah. I'm a Trask guy.
It's Kyle Trask in a landslide at this point. Which, you know what? But you know what's not Kyle Trask in a landslide is the college football playoff. New rankings came out as we're filming this tonight. As you're seeing this, they came out a few days ago. Some takeaways, Mike. I'm going to list where this team is at. A couple teams. I'm going to list where they're at, and I want to get your just gut reaction. I want to get your gut reaction starting at number 9, the Iowa State Cyclones.
Me. Talking to me?
Talking to you.
I was completely wrong about Iowa State, okay? I was completely wrong about Iowa State for the first time in a while. We all know they always rank Iowa State higher than they should be. This year, they've proven that they're a team to be reckoned with in the Big 12. I like them at 9, honestly. I don't think they're at the tier of the top 5, top 6, but they're going to compete. If they keep winning, if they win the Big 12 somehow, if they beat Rattler, I could see them being not BCS, but the top 6 bowl.
Yeah. I agree with the sentiment. There. We're not talking about me, though. We're talking you. Another gut reaction for you. 17, moving up 2 spots. Number 17, North Carolina.
Moving up 2 spots after a loss to Notre Dame. That game was weird. I'm not going to lie. Did you watch the game?
I did.
Notre Dame played a typical Notre Dame game that we didn't need. We did not need that. But, I mean, North Carolina didn't really look that good to move up 2 spots anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was close, but Notre Dame was kind of dominating the game the entire time. I never felt in that game that Notre Dame was going to lose. I bet Notre Dame. I bet them big to cover the 5.5, and they did. I mean, I think the committee and I think college football had to do this because they're finding ways to get people interested at this point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I don't get it. You look at so North Carolina's 6-3 now, and they're a spot ahead of 9-0 Coastal Carolina. They're 2 spots ahead of 4-2 Iowa. 4 spots ahead of 7-0 Marshall. It gets loaded. It gets loaded with just like who at the back, 20-25.
Yeah,
unbelievable. 20-25. We've got USC, Marshall, Washington, Oregon, Tulsa, Louisiana. Top 10 win now.
Yeah, like I said, everyone cares about the top 5. It is what it is. Yeah. That's the teams that at the end of the year everyone's going to – besides A&M, they're the only team that kind of like teeters off that like can they be in. And Cincy. Everyone's mad about Cincy. Did you see – I saw a graphic today that really made me upset. They said they won't put Cincy in because they'll get killed. And they put the graphic up of Clemson beating Notre Dame 30-3, LSU beating Oklahoma 64-30 something. And they had Alabama over I think it was Georgia. But here's the deal, Nate. Cincy is getting destroyed by more.
Yeah, well,
and they were mad about, Cincy wouldn't compete. I don't see it. They won't compete.
They won't. But here's my counterpoint. Let's say the Buckeyes don't play enough games, something funky happens, they're out. So you get your top three. And Alabama beats Florida in the SEC title game. That would mean that number 5 Texas A&M got a shot at Alabama, lost. That would mean that Florida got a shot at Alabama, lost. At that point, wouldn't you put in the team that just hasn't gotten a shot yet?
Yeah, put in Cincy. Play Alabama. Get your chance and get embarrassed on national television.
I see it, but I'd rather do it. We got to do it once. We have to do it once.
Okay.
Because then, and why not this year? Because if they're gonna if we're gonna have this debate all year long about every single year about all these group of 5 teams, let's get Coastal Carolina a shot. At some point, it's okay, give them a shot. Let's get embarrassed and let's go home and we'll move on to the big boys.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, they could get a shot. You never know, but I'd be interested to see it. We kind of went off tangent there.
Time out.
Enough college football playoff talk. Or go ahead.
Yeah, time out. So, that was a good start. I like talking college football. We're going to do this every week. We're going to bring the college football playoff up when we do it on Tuesday. The shows are going to be a little bit longer. We are now on Apple and Spotify on podcast. Cheers up. That was
Love it.
That was a huge milestone for us. That was our goal. We're on podcast now, Apple, Spotify. So you guys don't have to look at our ugly faces. You could listen on the car ride, get whatever you need in. We are on Apple and Spotify podcasts. On to that. Now we're getting into the show, Nate. We're getting into the show. You know what we start with every week. Yes.
It's the Maction game of the week. I already know who you're picking, but why don't you tell me who you're picking, Mike? And why don't you tell me why?
I'm picking Toledo, baby. I'm picking D-Crumb, the Flashes, Toledo 2-2 versus 0-4 NIU Huskies. A few years ago, NIU, big team in the MAC. Now, yikes, garbage, poop, and NIU, poop. Toledo's going to win this game. They had a tough last 2 games, but I think they're going to pick it up. Glass City, they're at NIU. They're bringing Glass City there. Toledo, Rockets, D-Crumb, victory.
I've got the Shitstorm Bowl in the MAC this year as my game of the week. I've got 0-4 Bowling Green at 0-4 Akron. The Zips, 3.5-point favorites. 3.5-point favorites. Can I name a player on either team? Absolutely not. It doesn't matter. It's great football at 11 a.m. Catch it on the Ocho, baby. Here come the Zips. I got the Zips if I were a betting man. Heavy under. Nobody can score. But the Zips get a defensive touchdown. 7-0 Zips. They cover the spread.
It would be disrespectful not to talk about what Buffalo did last week.
It would be. I didn't want to pick them. Because it just too easy.
Records all over the place.
Wow.
Unbelievable what they did. By the way, P.S. I just came off the plane. I take Dramamine to fly. I'm a little messed up right now. I'm trying to give you guys energy. Just bear with me here. I'm a little off headspace-wise, but I just had to mention that.
Oh, the man's off headspace-wise, folks. The man is off headspace-wise.
Akron -3.5. ACC. Here we go.
ACC.
Syracuse,
let's get into it, Mike.
Notre Dame. Is that real? -34.
That's a real line. I tell you what, I was putting together the slate tonight, and I saw some funny lines in there, and so I thought I had to include them. Syracuse at Notre Dame, -34. Notre Dame is in absolute resume season right now. They are in absolute resume season. This group needs to start winning with some style points. They're going to make the playoff if they beat Clemson regardless. I think they may even make the playoff even if they lose to Clemson.
I think so too.
But in a year where it looks like 1, 2, and 3 are kind of in a league of their own, boy, it feels good to get one. Boy, it feels good to get that 1 seed, and you got to start doing it with style points now.
Especially if Cincy gets in.
Especially if Cincy gets in. I like Notre Dame to cover that 34. Big.
I'm going to take Notre Dame. I don't know if I'm going to take them to cover, but they're definitely going to win this game. Notre Dame is in the driver's seat, and they haven't been in this position in a long time. Like you said, if they lose to Clemson, I think they still get in. They're controlling their own destiny. Trevor Lawrence put on a show last weekend. So it is going to be a duel at the end of the year. But Ian Book, did you see a little flip pass? Did you see that?
What a shot. And I tell you what, imagine if the defender would have been looking. That had pick six tie ball game written all over.
Oh, that ball was floating up there, ducking for years.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Quacking for years.
Quacking away. Here's what I will say about Notre Dame to finish that thought. Notre Dame, it feels different because they've already beaten Clemson this year. The knock on Notre Dame has always been like, they haven't played anybody. Are they going to be able to win when they get there? Like all that kind of thing. And it's like it feels different because they've already played in the big game and they won.
Yes, that's how I feel relaxed a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so maybe the Fighting Irish can play a little bit.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame handles this one easily. Virginia, Boston College, Virginia in the weekly. Yikes. Just for that, I don't like Virginia minus 5.5.
That's
or
what I'm
6.5. Boston College, good ball club.
Yeah, that struck me, took me aback when I saw it. If I were a betting man, Boston College plus 6.5.
Oh, this is easy. This is easy.
We're talking about the team that's running backwards lateral
in the end zone
passes in the end zone against Abilene Christian. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Put them in the weekly yikes, but get them out of here now.
I liked your weekly yikes. And another thing to add to that, you're playing Abilene Christian. Why do you need those plays?
Yeah. Just it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense, but like I don't even know what that play technically was.
Yeah, me neither.
Like I can't put my finger on what it was. Was it a fake punt? Was it like a fake pass? Like
it was a debauchery, a shit show. That's what it was.
Oh my gosh.
Clemson minus 22 at Virginia Tech. I'm taking Clemson and cover to this game as well. I took the over last week against Pitt. Easy win. Yeah, Clemson here. Trevor Lawrence just doesn't skip a beat. Skip a beat.
No, and I think similar to Notre Dame, Clemson's in that same boat right now where, like, Clemson's still got a shot if they lose to Notre Dame again, if it's a close, like, overtime-style game again. But they gotta create some separation from that 4 spot. Yes. They have to create some separation with some big wins and, like, impressive wins before them.
I agree 100%. On to the Big Ten. Ohio State didn't play last week against Michigan State. Michigan State beats Northwestern. Devastating loss for the Fighting Pats Fitzgeralds. Michigan State, yeah, they're running high. Ugly uniforms. Uniforms.
Gosh.
Ohio State is going to put them right in their place in this game. Ohio State wins. Maybe covers.
Yeah, they may cover. What's crazy is that Michigan State has 2 top 15 wins technically this year. Their only 2 wins are top 15 wins.
That's insane.
Michigan, that's an asterisk top 15 win.
Yeah.
But now Northwestern, another kind of asterisk top 15 win, but 2 top 15 wins at the time.
Northwestern completely blew their shot to make the playoff, even if they win the Big Ten championship.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm playing a little what could have been as an Iowa Hawkeye fan right now, though.
Me too.
Iowa was up 17-0 on Northwestern in that game. If they end up taking care of it and winning that game, they're in a great spot to win the Big Ten West.
Mm-hmm.
Probably don't make the playoff with the loss to Purdue. They'd find a way to lose. They might lose to Illinois this weekend. You never know.
Is there a chance Iowa still wins the Big Ten West?
So here's kind of the horse shit of it. No, there's no chance because Northwestern just clinched the Big Ten West because Minnesota canceled their game against Northwestern this week.
So that means PJ Flex are just biting you in the ass.
Bite me in the ass. I was giving him too much crap, but so the worst Northwestern can finish with is 2 Big Ten losses, and they will have played enough games. So it's a moot point at this point, but which sucks.
It's sad, sucks. Yeah. I mean, they're playing good football right now.
No, they're playing really good football, and like it wasn't pretty football on Friday against Nebraska, but like it was good enough.
It's a rivalry game.
How about this? It's the stat they popped up in that game. Iowa hasn't given up more than 25 points in 2 years.
Yeah, I saw that. That's amazing.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
No, so sometimes they're not scoring 25 points. Don't get me wrong,
No.
but I mean the defense always shows up. Which you know what I was going to skip it, go Indiana, Wisconsin, but we'll save that one for the last. We'll go right into Iowa. We're already talking about Iowa at Illinois. Would not take the Hawkeyes to cover in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Would not take the Hawkeyes to cover. I think they're going to win. I think they're playing good football, but I think Lovey's got a little something cooking over there. I think they keep it as a 1-2 score game.
Lovey, one of my favorite coaches of all time. Bears fire him at 10-6. We all know how that's gone. They have not found a guy since. It's an absolute dumpster fire. Illinois, I could see this is probably my upset of the week. I'm going to take Iowa, but I could definitely see an upset here. I mean, Illinois always gets that signature win recently. Last 2 years, Wisconsin and then Minnesota. No, Wisconsin, and then I think it was a big win over Indiana at home 2 years ago when they had only 2 losses.
Yeah, maybe. It feels trap gamey for Iowa. It feels super trap gamey. I'm hoping that Spencer Petras can play better. Man, he's not a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Boy, is he bad. But it doesn't matter because the defense is playing well and they're running the ball well. But we'll see what happens in that game. We'll see what happens on that game Saturday. I got the Hawkeyes not to cover if I were a betting man in Illinois plus that 13.5. Finish us up in the Big Ten, Mike.
Yeah, Indiana at Wisconsin. I'm going to pick Indiana to win this game. Alone just from watching the Northwestern-Wisconsin game. I know Wisconsin's at home. I know they just beat Michigan. But Indiana, I still believe in them. I still believe in the Hoosiers. I think they're going to win and upset it. I think it's an upset in this game. But some people would say no. I'm going to take Indiana in this one.
I'm gonna go opposite you. I got Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin.
Not a big believer in Indiana for you this year.
No, I haven't been a big believer in Indiana. I'm not a huge believer in the Big Ten. I'll be honest with you. Huge Big Ten fan, but like, there's not. Ohio State doesn't even look like they're an elite team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we haven't seen enough of them, I guess. But I don't know. I like Wisconsin in this game. I think they get kind of back on track here. I think they get back on track here. I think they look good. I think they feel like they still got a shot at something. I'm not sure what that something is, but
yeah, I mean it's all pride at this point.
Yeah, it is all pride.
You play to win the game. You play to win the game.
You don't play it just to play it.
Yeah, take us to our next segment here, our favorite segment.
Oh my gosh, American Game of the Week. I was flirting with a couple different games on this one. Shout out Memphis Tulane, but pass on that one. I got Houston -1 at SMU. We talk about it all the time. American Game of the Week. Saturday, you're feeling good. 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern down in Dallas.
That is deeply in the night.
ESPNU. Oh, if that doesn't scream American Game of the Week, I'm not sure what does. Houston is a 1-point favorite. Pass on that. I'll take the Mustangs. I'll take the Pony Express. Give me SMU in this one. Give me Ulysses. Give me Shane Buechele. Give me Roberson Jr. Give me all the playmakers on the outside, baby. I want them all.
Give me Shane Buechele as well. I will take the Ponies all day long. The Pony Express still fighting sanctions. I don't know, but I'm going to keep saying that. They've been fighting sanctions for 100 years. They're going to win this game. This is a good bet, I think, because you might as well take money line here and take SMU.
Oh yeah, if your program gets the death penalty from the NCAA, you're fighting sanctions for the rest of eternity.
Yeah,
you're just always fighting sanctions.
I'm gonna parlay this. I'm gonna parlay SMU and Boston College. That's a great parlay for this week.
That is a great parlay. I would go as far as to say, the next piece to that parlay, would be. We'll get to it. Get to it. Little teaser there. Upset City in South Carolina.
Yeah, here we go. Pac-12. We're going to start with these guys right here. Arizona State. I love these guys. Against UCLA. -3.5. Arizona State's going to win this game. I love what they're doing. They're getting better and better each week, better and better each year. They're eventually, hopefully, going to contend and win the big Pac-12 in a couple years. I'm going ASU in this game.
You know how we've both been sitting here going, man, Arizona State gets better and better each week?
Mm-hmm.
They're 0-1.
I know. That's the point. The Hermes. You got to love Herm. That's why I keep picking
Hermes got him on the move. Hermes got the Devils on the move. They should have won that game against USC. They should find themselves squarely in the college football playoff talk right now, but they're not. But they will win. They will beat UCLA, a bad UCLA team.
Yeah, UCLA gave USC a run for their money. USC beats Arizona State. You might want to pick UCLA. Trust me, Herm knows what he's doing.
I like that.
Hermie.
What's next, Mike?
Stanford at Washington. Here we go. We're running through the Pac-12 again. Give me Washington big. Stanford is not the same Cardinal. They're not the same tree. They're not the same lazy eye tree as it was in 2012 NCAA. Christian McCaffrey, that wasn't 2012. That was 20-something. But they're not. Stanford, bad. They're not even the Cardinals. They're the Cardinal.
Cardinal. And the 3-0 Washington Huskies ranked in that college football playoff rankings.
Mm-hmm.
They will win this game, and they will cover the 11.5. David Shaw's time at Stanford is about done.
Yeah. You did say that last week and the week before. And the week before. I'm going to say it this week. Shaw's time is done. Please just move on.
Just move on. Just move on.
Huge. This is actually an exciting segue here. The only thing I'm excited about in the Pac-12 is Oregon not being in the slate because the Beavers took them out at Oregon State last week at home.
What a wild ending to that game.
Unbelievable. And I saw a tweet, and this was so accurate. This game looks the same every year. Tell me it's not foggy, sleeting rain every Oregon State game.
Always.
Every year.
We got the Fog Bowl. We're going to start calling it the Fog Bowl. They don't call it the Civil War anymore. No more Civil War in that rivalry. We missed that, by the way. Remember when I called it the Battle of Oregon?
The Battle of Oregon. It is the War Civil.
It is the War Civil, but now we're calling it the Fog Bowl from here on out. It's the Fog Bowl every year, no matter what.
Yeah, Fog Bowl. Good.
I got the Beavers.
Yeah, me too. I love Utah. I can't do this. I'm going to take Oregon State. Huge win for the program. Oregon State has been a laughingstock in football for the last 10 years. Oh, gosh. This is a monumental win for them, and no one saw it coming.
No.
High-scoring game, Pac-12. They ran the football well. They did everything right to win that game.
Yeah, hey, I couldn't agree more. Enjoyed watching the game. How about that? The freshman quarterback comes in on 4th and goal and sneaks it right in. Sneaks it right in for the W.
Talk about
I loved it.
Playing with some pressure. That's it for the Pac-12. Nate, start with the Big 12 here. I'm excited.
Big 12. Big weekend in the Big 12. You know what? I'm going to give them their rightful. So we're going to start with West Virginia at Iowa State. Iowa State, a 7-point favorite in this game. Obviously, I'm a little biased here, Mike, because I live in the state. Actually, I'm about 20 minutes from Ames right now, so I'm right in the thick of it over here. But it has been 5 years since Matt Campbell came and took over a program that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Campbell's first year, they go 3-9. And Breece Hall, who he recruited there, said it best after they beat Texas last week. 5-star culture beats 5-star players.
Yeah. Those players love it over there.
That's what I will say. That's what I was going to say. They have built a 5-star culture in Ames. They're going to win on Saturday, which will give them a regular season Big 12 title, which I'm pretty sure has never happened. They've never won a Big 12 title.
Clinching the regular season Big 12 title when they win this game, correct?
Yes.
Now, you got to be psyched for this game because West Virginia isn't a bad football team.
No, they're not. You got to be ready to go.
You got to be playing for it all here in West Virginia. I've been in this situation playing high school football where you just want to ruin a team season.
Yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
And it's a good spot to be in, and teams do it all the time. I'll talk about the Bears. Last year they ruined the Vikings season at the end of the year. Yeah. So
Hey,
With nothing to play for, you always got something to play for. You play to win the game.
you play to win the game. Got to take them. Can't take them lightly. But what a time to be alive as a Cyclone fan. Take it for granted sometimes. You're a Notre Dame fan. You've seen a lot of success.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an Iowa fan. Iowa's not a lot of Big Ten titles in there, but there's some big bowl wins. There's good seasons. Iowa State fans have been looking for a Big 12 title for years, man.
Yeah, this is huge. If I was a betting man, I would not bet this game.
No, I would
That's
not.
all
I would
I'm gonna
not
say.
because 7 feels firm. Feels like one of those situations where maybe you look ahead to the Big 12 title game. I think Iowa State wins, but anything can happen, man.
Now, if Iowa State loses, what does this do for the Big 12?
There's 9 scenarios that if any one of the 9 scenarios happens over the next 2 weeks, Iowa State's in.
Mm-hmm.
Because they only have 1 loss. Everybody else has 2.
Yes.
So, really, it's set if Baylor loses to Oklahoma and West Virginia loses to Iowa State. But if Iowa State loses, then you got technically Oklahoma State's still in the mix. There's something funky that would happen with a 3-way tie at the top.
Let's just hope for a fighting Matt Rule victory to ruffle the entire conference.
Ruffle the feathers. Ruffle them up. Actually, I know what you're saying, and I get it.
I just want a craziness in the Big 12 like we've wanted week in and week out.
I do, but now that we may not get the crazy that I envisioned, I want to see a rematch of that Oklahoma-Iowa State game.
You're right. Me too.
I want to see it. I want to see it again.
That's a good point.
So, is it even worth talking about the rest of the Big 12?
You're right. It's really not. I'll run through it quick and talk about why. Texas, Kansas State. Texas is going to win this game. Kansas is going to lose to Texas Tech 27.5 for Texas Tech. And Baylor, like I said, now that you said that, I want Oklahoma to win this game. As far as the Big 12 goes, good season.
The thing that sucks for the Big 12 is I don't think there's any way a Big 12 team makes a college football playoff.
Yeah.
Iowa State's got a lot of people leapfrog at 9, man.
I'm looking something up here.
There's a lot of people leapfrog at 9.
So let's talk about Ellinger for a second. Drops heavily as an NFL first rounder. He's not that good. And I've been saying this. It is not a smart draft pick. I don't care if you need a quarterback bad and he's there. Just get somebody else. Get a SEC linebacker like the Lions will.
Get an SEC linebacker. I tell you what, if you're thinking that you want Sam Ellinger, there's an SEC linebacker that you've never heard of that's just waiting to get taken in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
At Texas, not a bad football team. Somebody said, I'm going to recap that game. I don't know how much of that game you watched last Friday, Mike.
Which one?
Iowa State, Texas.
Yes, I watched. Texas had it.
But they did.
It comes down to a field goal, and
Texas running fake punts and things like that, and it almost worked out. But somebody also said it was very clear that Tom Herman knew that he had to do something crazy to win that game. That he couldn't just go 11 on 11 and win, which is crazy to me. That Texas can't go 11 on 11 with people and win. What happened? What happened there?
Vince Young and that team was one of my favorite teams ever that I've ever seen. Him in the Tim Tebow era and the Reggie Bush era. You got USC and Texas that have just not done it. Florida went through a lull too.
Yeah. They did. They did. I miss those Texas teams, and I miss them because that USC Texas game in 2004. That's one of the first championship games. I'm old enough. My dad lets me stay up and watch the whole thing, and so I was still awake on a school night watching Vince Young run it in the end zone. It just those Texas teams are Texas and USC playing in that national title game. Man, what a fall from grace for those.
That's
two.
Football. Yeah, Texas is football. It's sad to see these kids that are diehard Texas fans not go to Texas because of the whole recruiting game now. You go to Clemson, you're seeing water parks and sleeping beds, and then you're like, well, I'm not going to go to Texas. I'm going to go to Clemson. And it just breaks away from the whole home team. This is where my pride. This is where my dad went. This is, it's just kind of getting away from that. That's what it is. It's the recruiting game. And when you're not good, if you have one tough season, it could kill the next 10 years. That's how college football is.
I know, which is crazy.
Which is surprising that Notre Dame does what they do because of all the big losses they have in those big games. Yeah, that's what was so monumental about this game. That's why they stormed the field. That's why this was a school-changing win, because now Notre Dame's still going to be good, but now kids see that, and it makes a difference.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I do look forward to the day Texas is back, though.
Yes, absolutely. I think we all do. I've never met anyone besides Oklahoma fans that hate Texas.
Yeah, same.
All right. SEC, A&M at Auburn. Why did I take the over in the LSU A&M game last week?
Ugh.
Idiot. The pedestrian is going to get demolished again and again and again and again. He is not good. He looks good. He looks solid. He looks like a guy you would create in NCAA football. He's got the visor. Number 10. He's got the arm sleeve. He's got the look. He is not a good quarterback. Kellen Mond, complete opposite. Looks like a baloney out there. Big shoulder pads, baseball slinging arm, but he gets it done. That running back over there, A&M, is something else.
Looks like a baloney.
Looks like a package of baloney. But he's good. It's not a knock. You got to take it for what it is. They run the football well. They got it done, and they're finally getting back to A&M form. Quick turnaround after Manziel. Losing for a little bit, right back.
Oh, yeah. A&M looks like a good football team. The win over Florida is looking better and better. Better and better and better with each week that goes by. I got A&M big in that one. Auburn can't play. Florida minus 17.5 at Tennessee. Tennessee can't defend anybody.
The checkered end zone, baby.
You're going to take the checkered end zone?
Oh, no. I'm just saying we're going to make T-shirts.
Tennessee.
We're going to make a T-shirt, a FanNoise T-shirt, and it's just going to be a checkered end zone. The whole thing's going to be
just a checkered end zone.
And it's going to say Go Vols on it. Yes.
Rocky Top Tennessee.
It's going to be half Kentucky blue, checkered, half orange.
Oh.
Checkered end zone. But, talk Florida.
Florida, it's going to be the Kyle Trask show.
Not the trash. Trask's
show. He's going to win. He's going to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns in this one, 350-plus yards. This is that I'd like to see him run one in and flash a little Heisman pose as he comes into the end zone. I'd like to see it this week. Love to see it.
Some people don't think he's fast. You got to realize he's 6'5", 239 pounds. He's not 240. He's 239. He's probably 245 now.
Yeah.
That was before the season. But when a guy's that big, he looks slow, but those strides are long, and it's just a train. When he runs, I mean, if you're getting hit by that thing, it's going to hurt.
Get off the tracks.
Little stat for him.
Oh.
Ready?
That time.
In high school, he was a backup quarterback. He started only his freshman year of high school, Nate. He was behind the quarterback for Miami. His last name's King.
Derek King.
Derek King. He played behind Derek King in the same high school. He hasn't started since that game last year when he took over for Felipe Franks. What a story. He is now going to be in the first round of the NFL draft. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Incredible story. His only FBS offer, University of Florida. That's kind of crazy. He's a Texas kid. The story's crazy.
Wild.
Again, Longhorns. What are you doing?
Yeah, you miss out on a guy like Kyle Trask. I mean, we're going to have him on the podcast here soon.
When he goes to Chicago.
Exactly.
Alabama at LSU, damn, what a rivalry. Alabama minus 29.5.
What a fall. What a fall from grace. We talk about Texas. I tell you what, you blink your eye if you're an LSU fan and you're like, boy, oh boy.
Are you satisfied with the natty though? And you're like, yeah, we'll come back.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
I think they're just I think LSU fans, and they don't even have to be at the stadium really.
Yeah.
This is a season for LSU. You're just drinking your yak, you're smoking ribs, you're killing whatever they do down there in Louisiana.
Dude, a little
eating
bayou
alligator.
shrimp.
Little
bayou shrimp, maybe a little shrimp, the big
little pepper the gumbo.
The gumbo.
Yeah,
Pepper the gumbo.
By the way, if you've seen the movie The Blind Side,
when he comes walking
if you don't laugh, if you don't laugh at his voice at the beginning of that, I've never heard it before then because I was kind of not little, but at the time I didn't know who Ed Orgeron was. When I heard that man speak, that blew my body back into the couch. Incredible. Imagine getting yelled at by that guy if you're that kid's son.
Oh my gosh, what a voice on that man.
Yeah.
What a voice on that man. Moving on. You know why we're moving on? Because we saved it for the last game of the show. Because we're going to disregard the college football playoff poll.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to swipe in the AP poll.
Huge.
We have a ranked matchup in the Hugh Freeze game of the week.
This is probably the best Hugh Freeze game of the week we're going to get all year, so pay attention, listen up. Nate, let me hear it.
Oh, my gosh. We've got – so Hugh Freeze game of the week, we got the Liberty Flames with Sparky the Eagle. Traveling to South Carolina to face the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. We've got uniform combos. We got nasty-looking turf.
Oh, yeah.
We have the mothership, ESPN, doing College Game Day on location.
That is amazing. Hugh Freeze.
Got everything you need. It's the Hugh Freeze game of the week. They showed the Hugh Freeze redemption story too early on game day. They showed it last week. They should have saved it for this week. Changed man. I don't know if I buy it, but, changed man, he says.
Mm-hmm.
But wow. Hugh Freeze game of the week. I can't wait. Give me the Flames all the way. They're knocking off the
I was waiting for you to pick somebody. Give me the Flames. Give me Hugh Freeze. That's Hugh Freeze game of the week for a reason. They're going in. They're beating the undefeated Chanticleers in Myrtle Beach. Oh, it's going to be beautiful weather. There's going to be hopefully fans at the stadium. College Game Day. Hugh Freeze not in the hospital anymore. The Flames flame the Chanticleers. Put in the graphic. The Flames up. Get them going. This isn't your typical UIC Flames. This is your Liberty Flames. Same colors, different school. Liberty, Statue of Liberty, America, Liberty Flames.
Sparky the Eagle's going to be over there flapping away, Sparky the Eagle. Here come the Flames, baby. Here come the Flames taking down the Chanticleers.
And with that, we have a Saturday college football show. Nate, it is getting close to the end of the season. Our shows are coming to a close, but we got a couple more left. The most important ones, we're going to do bowl selections. We are going to do more fantasies.
Conference championship week.
Oh, it's going to get hefty at FanNoise here. But I just wanted to sign off by telling you guys, if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Music, we appreciate it. Please subscribe there, but subscribe on our YouTube channel. Please hit the like button, smash the like button right now if you have not done so already. Please also hit the notification button. What that's going to do is every time a video is posted, you will get a notification on your phone, so you can be the first ones to watch it before anybody. Also, follow us on Twitter, Instagram at FanNoise Sports, TikTok, FanNoise Sports, Pinterest.com/FanNoise Sports. Like I said, we got the podcast rolling on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever your preferred platform is. And then obviously YouTube. Please like, and subscribe right now. If you haven't, do it right now.
Subscribe away, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Subscribe to the YouTube page. It all helps. We're doing it for fun. But it all helps, if you know what I mean. Keep doing it. Keep tuning in. Little half plug for the weekly Yikes coming up later next week. Send in some recommendations for that. I can only type so much off my own head. Mike helps me out. Parr, PJ help me out. We collaborate all week on the weekly yikes. But send in a recommendation. Maybe you see something that makes you go yikes.
Yes, Nate. At the bottom of the screen, you will see our Twitter handles. DM us anything you want, any questions, anything that you want to, maybe a little controversy. You want to talk some football, you disagree, we'll let you know why we're right and why you're wrong. No, just kidding. If you want to argue, that's fine. Keep it friendly. But another thing, Nate, we are eventually, things to look forward to in the future for FanNoise Faithful. We're going to drop some merch here in the next couple months. Merch line coming in the works, and also another video idea called I don't know what's going to be called yet, but it's somewhere to do with the weekly argument. There's going to be a post posted on Twitter. It is going to be a controversial topic, and you could DM me. I'm going to pick a DM that I get. You're going to come on the show, and you'll get to debate me and Nate. An example would be a quarterback in the NFL. Would you rather have this guy or this guy? You come on the show, you bring some fire. We only take in energy fire guys that have some stats, have some knowledge, and we're going to debate on the show, get you guys the respect you deserve for following us, and that's what we got looking forward to in the future. Nate, with that, sign us off.
Good stuff, Mike. A lot of exciting things in the works. One thing you forgot about, Mike, is a little FanNoise retreat maybe coming sometime in 2021.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't sleep on all the boys getting together. Maybe making this production actually look nice sometime in 2021. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We got a little something in the works. So thanks for tuning in. Have a good rest of your Saturday. Enjoy some college football. Maybe have a beer or two.
Nick, cue the music. FanNoise. See you next week. Out.
Chance to make a play here. Lined up in the slot on 4th and 11.